Hello and welcome to the special all-star edition of This Week in Soccer featuring the USISL. I'm David Bolton on a wet and soggy afternoon here in Columbus, Ohio, site of the 1995 USISL MITRE International All-Star Challenge. This venue has the USISL's best players taking on the Shamrock Rovers from the League of Ireland. We'll have plenty of action here from Columbus. Right now, let's look at the headlines we'll be seeing this 17th week of the 1995 season.
It's playoff time in the USISL, and we'll start our look at the Premier League postseason in Des Moines, Iowa, where the Menace hosted the Central Division's best side. Then it's off to the Bay Area, where the San Francisco All Blacks were the favorites. There's action from the last week of the Pro Division regular season as well. First, we look in on the Myrtle Beach boys, fighting for their playoff lives. Then we go out west to Los Angeles, where the Salsa continue to smother their Southern California rivals. We'll also tell you about the finals for this year's inaugural Switzerland 6 Women's National USISL Championships. Plus, we'll have the state of the USISL in August of 1995 from the words of Commissioner Francisco Marcus.
Should be an exciting all-star show. We'll have plenty of highlights for you, and we'll get underway with the action when This Week in Soccer featuring the USISL continues from Columbus, Ohio, right after this.
The last goal's been scored, and now's your chance to celebrate the one-year anniversary of World Cup '94. The USISL Pro Shop discounts the official items sold last year at World Cup stadiums. Offered for the first time on television, the World Cup '94 collection polo shirts with the official World Cup logo. Sold in the stadium for $60, now yours for just $15. Also available, the World Cup '94 Stadium Collection Henleys. Available in white or ash. Stadium price was $55, now on sale for just $15. Don't miss the official World Cup flag soccer balls with your favorite World Cup country, now just $10. Complete your World Cup memorabilia collection with the Road to the World Cup '94 Trading Cap Collector's Board, suitable for framing, tracing the path of the historic World Cup tournament. On sale for just $15. Call now. This sale won't last long. Operator standing by. 1-800-458-6875. Visa, MasterCard accepted. This summer, follow the USISL border to border, corner to corner, coast to coast, and now cover to cover with the 1995 USISL Media Guide. Packed with 92 sizzling pages, everything you would want to know about the nation's largest soccer league. Take a trip through time as we trace the origins of the USISL from a 5-team regional league in 1986 to the present-day version with 4 leagues nationwide. So don't get left out in the cold when you can sizzle with the USISL Media Guide. Send check or money order for $10.50 to the USISL, Irving, Texas.
Welcome back to This Week in Soccer featuring the USISL as we continue on a wet afternoon here in Columbus, Ohio. This site is the venue of a very significant game this weekend, the 1995 MITRE USISL All-Star International Challenge. The best players from the USISL taking on the Shamrock Rovers from the League of Ireland.
A wet and stormy afternoon greeted the two teams in Ohio for this first ever MITRE USISL International All-Star Challenge. The USISL's Everett's David Whittrell started out the match with 2 great defensive plays. First, clearing this lead ball out of the box. Then beating Carl Gammon to this loose ball in the penalty area. The All-Stars moved the ball well. The Zog's Nick Eigel sends a cross towards a rushing Ben Crawley, but the Rovers' defense gets to it first. Paul Hollicher takes the clearance and centers, but the ball is headed away. The Rovers also had good midfield movement, slicing through the All-Star defense, but this shot weakly rolls to the feet of keeper Tony Miola. The All-Stars had the match's first real scoring attempts. Raleigh's Randy Sheen collects the ball at the top of the box. Chris Veselka leaves it for Crawley, but his shot goes right to Rovers keeper Robbie Horgan. Then the Irish side had a chance. Derek Tracy sends a nice lead ball to Carl Gannon, but he's fought off the ball by Tampa Bay's Mario Yepes, and the match remains scoreless. The Rovers' Greg O'Dowd had an opportunity just minutes later, but his volley goes wide. The visitors broke the scoreless tie on a mistake by the most unlikeliest of players. Mark Reed collects the ball in midfield and fires a bomb on goal. catching World Cup goalkeeper Tony Meola out of position and giving Shamrock a 1-0 lead. But the All-Stars of the USISL would not go down without a fight. Chris Veselka backheels the ball for awaiting Randy Sheen. His shot is tipped just wide by the keeper Organ. Veselka would set up the tying goal. He sends a perfect lead ball to Flavio Ferri, who fires it beyond the reach of Organ, and the match was all tied at 1. The Veselka-Ferri connection came close to scoring again, but Organ comes up with another big save. Then Organ manages to put this dangerous Veselka cross over the net. The speed of Flavio Ferri from the San Antonio Pumas gave the All-Stars the lead, slipping the ball past Organ, and the Pumas forward's second goal of the match gave the USISL All-Stars a 2-1 advantage. The All-Stars continued to pressure. Kevin Sloan sends a cross into the box. It's headed back to Ben Crawley, but his low shot is stuffed by Organ. The first half would end with the USISL on top of the visitors from Ireland, 2-1.
Here at halftime of the 1995 USISL International All-Star Challenge, joined by Commissioner Francisco Marcus. A great event so far. How did this year's event come about?
Well, we have a great event, including Irish-made weather. We got great rain for the whole game, but fortunately we decided to stay with the game. This is really a part of the City of Dublin's festival, Irish Festival, which is an annual event. And through their graciousness and, of course, the help from Midas Sports, we were able to invite a top Irish team, Shamrock Rovers, really the premier team in Ireland over the years. This is their first tour to the USISL and the first of 4 games that they'll play against us, including games against the new South Carolina Shamrocks, of course, appropriately owned by an Irishman as well. So it'll be one of their inaugural games as that team starts playing in the league next year. And then they'll play the Albany Alleycats up in Albany, New York. And they'll end their tour against our Long Island Rough Riders. And this will be really, I think, a great opportunity for our teams, because I believe that this is probably the level that we can measure ourselves against. A first division team from a middle tier country such as the Republic of Ireland. I think that if this game, which we're winning 2-1 at halftime, comes out, no matter how it comes out, I think we already probably showed that we probably belong at this level. And I think for our players that's very important to know as we start using this type of events as a measuring stick for our players to be able to think about other things, including the possibility of European soccer.
Let's talk about the USISL specifically. A big year for professional soccer here in the United States, and we've seen over the past few months some big successful strides forward for the USISL. As Commissioner, kind of give us a state of the league right now as we stand in August 1995.
Well, it's been a big year for us, obviously, one with a lot of problems as well, but a lot of great situations as well. Particularly on the field, we've had some great results. 2 of our teams played the Olympic team and won both times, the Hampton Roads Mariners and the Long Island Rough Riders. We beat all 4 teams from the A-League in the U.S. Open Cup quarterfinals and semifinals, and for the first time in the history of the league we've got 2 teams in the final, so we're going to put our league's name on the winner's trophy for the first time in our history. That's very important because either Richmond, the Kickers, or the El Paso Patriots are going to be able to enter the CONCACAF Cup Winners' Cup, so that now officially puts it into the international scene as well. And so those have been the sorts of things that have happened. We are in the process of seriously considering the formation of an elite, of a top-tier division with somewhere between 18 and 24 teams for 1996, taking advantage of the fact that we now believe that, using my own cliche, that off-Broadway, we have got the best soccer in America being played right now.
With that, we're going to thank you for your time and best of luck in the future here with the USISL.
Thank you.
With those words from Commissioner Francisco Marcus, we're going to step aside briefly, but right after this, action from around the league as the final week of the regular season and the first week of the Premier League playoffs get underway. We'll have all the highlights for you as This Week in Soccer featuring the USISL